welcome to ADIPEC Energy Dialogues, our series of conversations with industry thought leaders. I'm Gaurav Sharma. Today we are delighted to have with us Mr. Jeff Zindel, who is the Vice President and General Manager of the Honeywell Connected Enterprise and Cybersecurity. Jeff, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks, and I look forward to speaking with you.
Today we have you here with us to discuss the crucial topic of cybersecurity. The energy industry faces both IT cybersecurity and OT or operational technology cybersecurity. Both are very different challenges. So just to start off on a very elementary footing, what is the differing nature of the challenges when it comes to the industry?
Cybersecurity for industrial operational technology is very different and extremely challenging. The hardware, software, assets, and devices that are used to control physical processes, as well as the OT networks, are extremely complex. At a plant or site, we'll typically find tens or hundreds of legacy proprietary assets and protocols from multiple vendors that are extremely old and outdated, sometimes up to 20 years old. And some of the fundamentals that commonly exist in IT cybersecurity are missing in these OT environments. Operators don't have visibility to their assets. There is a lack of proper logging and data available for events and others. There's no proper monitoring in place. Disruptions and downtime are completely unacceptable. And finally, it's all made worse by the tremendous shortage of OT skilled cybersecurity professionals.
These are often discussing the proliferation of IIoT, the Industrial Internet of Things. Now, with that proliferation, has your task become somewhat harder when it comes to safeguarding OT? Or perhaps in the last 5 years, have you noticed some tectonic shifts that spring to your mind?
So it's absolutely become more challenging. I'll start by saying that at Honeywell, we fully embrace and support and are helping customers implement and benefit from the great productivity and performance gains from digital transformation, IIoT, and connected OT environments. That being said, cybersecurity must be addressed at the forefront. What we've found and we see in many and most environments is a rapid increase of IIoT devices, many or most of which have uncontrolled network connections. They have remote access that is not being managed and is not following the same corporate policies being implemented across sites and enterprises. And also the vulnerabilities have increased tremendously given this expanded footprint of smart devices, again, that have in many cases uncontrolled and insecure connections.
One of the things to sort of bring in right now is this pandemic, COVID-19, that the industry is dealing with and the wider world is dealing with. You talk about smart devices, you also notice how large numbers of us are working remotely. Does this present the industry and yourselves as industry participants with a unique challenge that you had not previously contemplated?
So absolutely. The need for secure remote operations and business continuity in industrial environments has never been greater. The industry has been forced to balance the needs between maintaining productive operations while at the same time protecting the health and safety of the enterprise, their employees, contractors, vendors, as well as customers. Now, it's created a fantastic opportunity at the same time for industry to pivot and really fully embrace the advantages of industrial grade secure remote access and operations solutions. And these are solutions that can provide extremely granular control over access, maintenance, management, and operations of individual assets and devices at a protocol level, controlled by user or group, and fully monitored, so that all of those connections are secure, they're managed, and they follow corporate policies. So while COVID has created a tremendous challenge, at the same time, I think it's highlighting the tremendous benefits that can be gained from secure remote operations, as long as that's done in a cyber secure manner.
I think you've hit it on the right on the spot there. One question, of course, a key theme emerging is that, of course, the pandemic is a human and a macroeconomic tragedy in itself, but is it also an opportunity for the energy industry and within it, the oil and gas business to sort of change their mindset, their attitude as to how they approach cybersecurity, the whole as an enterprise, and of course, their own way of doing things?
I think that it certainly provided an opportunity for them to take a step back, and as they look at how they can best operate on a go-forward basis with these limitations, take advantage of technology, take advantage of digitization, digital transformation, and do so, though, most importantly, in a cyber secure manner. They can improve their productivity, reduce their costs, leverage offsite experts, but it's absolutely critical that this is done in a cyber secure manner. And a great example of that is the Honeywell Forge cybersecurity software suite, which was widely being used by hundreds of customers and thousands of sites in industries around the world to provide secure, control, fully managed access, as well as operational capabilities remotely to OT environments.
I think both of us are in agreement that those days are gone, where when it came to oil and gas majors and petrochemicals players, that cybersecurity spend was classified as an IT admin spend. It is now left, right, and center of the organization. And do you think that we've reached a point by which cybersecurity operations are sort of combined with asset management capabilities, something that you're attempting with Forge, I believe?
Yeah, so look, we have found that customers are increasingly challenging technology providers like Honeywell to provide, fully integrated solutions, and moving away from what in the past have been approaches using multiple point products. These integrated solutions that combine capabilities for asset discovery and inventory, threat detection, continuous monitoring, risk management, and compliance with, again, importantly, secure remote access and operations are now at the forefront. Again, a great example there is our Honeywell Forge cybersecurity software suite, where we took our secure remote operations, advanced leading capabilities, have combined those with asset discovery, inventory, and management capabilities, and then wrapped it all with solutions for risk and compliance management. And it's those types of solutions that customers certainly are demanding and need. Ours is a good example. There's others out there in the marketplace, which is a great step forward that will help the energy industry move forward and more effectively tackle the great challenges of and threats faced by the attacks.
And that's a great thing you mentioned. Parking your products and putting them at the center of how the world is evolving and what role you as a company are playing within it. Let me just ask you a question, which of course is always at the back of everybody's mind, including yours. COVID or no COVID, in your assessment, as we have this conversation, where is the threat level at for the industrial complex?
So unfortunately, the threat level continues to rise and increase. And we're seeing that in industries around the world. The number of attacks is increasing. The number of threats and attacks specific to operational technology has gone up, and the sophistication of those attacks has increased. We just released a new report focused on industrial cybersecurity threats this week. We gathered information from hundreds of industrial sites around the world and found, unfortunately, that the risk of threats to operational technology specifically had doubled over the last 12 months. And we also found that the number of attacks that were specifically targeting operational technology had doubled as well. So it's the world in which we live in. It's absolutely critical that customers take a proactive, ongoing stance to address these challenges and integrate it as a regular, ongoing part of all of their business operations.
Whether we like it or not, or whether energy sector players like it or not, a lot of energy installations, a lot of energy infrastructure in most markets is classified as a matter of national security, and so it should be. Now, how you mentioned the threat level there, how serious a challenging situation is. It's evolving. How is the industry learning to cope with you as partners?
So what we see is that forward-thinking companies are really embracing the need for operational technology-focused cybersecurity. They have addressed it, enacting formal programs with formal governance, budget, and support. They've integrated both the operations and governance and approaches from the IT side of the house with what traditionally was separate in operations, engineering, and OT. And now they have a much more well-orchestrated, I would say, coordinated approach that benefits both operational technology operations as well as corporate risk management and mitigation. And they found that leveraging OT cybersecurity software and expertise, they can improve their productivity and reduce their costs. So I would say in the past, where it was viewed as a lower priority on the operations side of the house, it's now being embraced as an enabler of safe, secure productivity that can also then obviously enable business continuity. And on the solution side, while defense in depth is a given, we're seeing more and more customers embrace solutions for continuous monitoring and management of threats, vulnerabilities, and risks. Also employing solutions for advanced threat detection. And then finally, and importantly, incident response. And having an incident response capability in place that is tested and proven. And all of this then enables them to raise their defenses to the highest level, and should they have an incident, minimize any disruption and recover rapidly.
Sure. I have that leads us on to a nice our next question, which is a two-part question. Your division at Honeywell and the wider Honeywell family, you've had years of working with the utility sector, power, petrochemicals, oil and gas, you name it. But increasingly, you're also working with the food industry, the food and beverage industry, the pharmaceutical industry. One part A of the question, of course, is there any sector that sort of shouts out to you that you've worked with that is sort of ahead of the curve relative to its peers? And part B of the question is, as the challenge grows, as the threat evolves, as the solutions evolve in step with it, how has your engagement been with stakeholders within these various sectors? Because after all, there is a cost, an operational cost attached to spending on cybersecurity.
So look, in each sector, we find that there's pioneers and early adopters of operational technology, cybersecurity, software and solutions, which is tremendous and great to see. Now, we also see at the same time, though, that the late majority of other companies and enterprises, while starting to more effectively leverage OT cybersecurity solutions, still has a long way to go. Regarding which sector, look, it really differs by country and region around the world. Those that are subject to a higher rate of attacks, those industries with a higher risk of production loss, cost of production loss, product quality damage, or damage to their brand and reputation. But again, look, we see pioneers and leaders in each of the industries and sectors, and we operate in all these around the world. So that's great to see. Now, on the decision-making front and the commercial engagement front, it's really started to change. We have seen a significant increase in the C-suite, in board of directors, taking an increasing interest in the state of cybersecurity in their operating environments. They want to understand what their risks are. They want to understand what their cybersecurity posture is, and they want to understand what they're doing to help mitigate that risk, and also how they benchmark versus other competitors in the marketplace. And also, we've seen an increase in direct involvement in ownership in many cases by the CIOs. Now, traditionally, cybersecurity in the operational technology or industrial space was the responsibility of operations and engineering, and often decisions were made at the facility or the plant level. And while that still is the case for many customers on a per site basis, again, they have started to see and embrace the benefits of cybersecurity to help them improve productivity, improve their ability to leverage in a secure manner remote experts and remote expertise. And all of that has then, I would say, changed the profile and needs of our buyer at the operations level. And also, we're increasingly, I would say now, crossing the OT, IT, OT divide, working with both the CIO, the VPs of IT, the head of operations, the head of plants and facilities, to implement OT cybersecurity solutions. And we're increasingly doing it now at a corporate level, addressing the needs of the enterprise rather than just an individual site.
It's been a fascinating conversation, Jeff, but I can't let you go by bringing up a favorite. I can't let you go without bringing up a favorite quip of yours that I've heard you over many, many years on the speaking circuit, is that you often include in your speeches and your presentations to the industry the verse that the industrial complex needs to be cyber secure through paranoia. So how does that sort of work in practice? And as we've mentioned, the nature of the threat, the solutions that are available to mitigate it, how does it work in practice in keeping, because a lot of your customers, they're global players. So how does it work in keeping all the regions and all the various zones and all the various sites equally paranoid about cybersecurity?
So yeah, absolutely support that type of mindset when it comes to cybersecurity, given the dramatic ongoing increase in attacks, the threats of those attacks, and we only expect to see them get worse. So with that being said, the good news is that enterprise-wide solutions are available today. They're incredibly valuable and provide corporations and enterprises and operators with sites located in regions around the world with the capabilities they need to effectively manage OT cybersecurity. The benefits are many. They can improve their productivity, reduce their costs, implement standard policies across those sites, benchmark the cybersecurity performance of each of those individual sites to ensure a minimum level of protection, understanding how that looks within and across their enterprise, as well as versus best-in-class competitors in their industry or in other industries. And then finally, they get direct, immediate visibility with these solutions to the cybersecurity posture and compliance activities that otherwise weren't available to them today. These enterprise solutions like the Honeywell Forge Cybersecurity Suite combine the critical needs for secure remote access and operations with the advanced needs of asset management, discovering assets, inventorying those, identifying threats, measuring risk, and also measuring and identifying compliance versus corporate policy. So good news is that those solutions are available today from suppliers like Honeywell, and there's an increased focus and investment in OT cybersecurity to help enterprises in the energy sector confront this growing challenge.
Jeff, that was a fascinating conversation. We really appreciate your thoughts. And with that, we bring this conversation to a conclusion. Thank you for watching and listening. For more details, go to adipec.com.